What's up, people? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 here, coming to you with another deck profile. This time it's on my newly updated Skull Servant deck. Let's not waste time, let's get started. So here we go, we got the free Skull Servants. Just your basic, average, normal monster, nothing really to see here. One Gozuki, just to pretty much Foolish Burial something. One Mizuki to pretty much resurrect something. 3 copies of Lady in White. Basically face up level 3 lower zombie monsters on the field, except yourself. Cannot be destroyed by battle, which is nice. And also, they are unaffected by spell, trap, and effects, which is also nice. And basically, all these monsters you see here, all the Skull Servant family members, each of them, except for Skull Servant, has the text stating that they are treated as Skull Servant while in the graveyard. This is important for later. 3 copies of White Princess. Basically, if it's no more special summoned, I can pretty much summon a White Prince from my deck or to the graveyard. I could send one White Prince from my deck to the graveyard. And also, during the player's turn, I can send this card from my hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to their own level / rank times 300 until the end of the turn. This is really good if you want to get over big beaters. Then we got the Big Cheese himself, King of the Skull Servants. Basically, your biggest beat stick in the deck, because he's 1,000 attack points. He's pretty much, he gains 1,000 for each Skull Servant in the graveyard. And if he is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this, another King of Skull Servants or Skull Servant from the graveyard to special summon it. So he has his own built-in Monster Reborn, essentially. Then you got 2 copies of White Mare. I only run 2 because you only need 2. He only has 2 effects, which is simple. I can either target one of my banished Skull Servants or White Mares and return them to the graveyard, or I could banish one, or I could target one of my banished Lady in White or King of Skull Servants and special summon it. Basically, another way to get one of those 2 out. Then we got 3 copies of White Prince. Basically, if he's sent to the graveyard by any means necessary, I can send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady in White from my hand and or deck to the graveyard. I can banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from the graveyard, and special summon the King that way as well. I also got this new card, White Baking. Apparently, Skull Servants like like baked potatoes. Cool! This card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. If a level 3 or a lower zombie monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. If this card is sent to the grave, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except White Baking, that are either Skull Servant or specifically list Skull Servant in their text. Then discard 1 card. You can only use this effect once per turn. So just basically another way to organize everything for the king. That's it. 2 Book of Life. Simple. It's basic resurrection support, plus you get to rip a card out of your opponent's graveyard. One foolish burial, just to dump something. 2 Hatronage, just to get rid of back row. 1 Monster Reborn resurrection. 1 for 1, just to get one of your Skull Servant pieces out. 2 Pot of Duality, just to search for your Skull Servant pieces. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, once again, to get rid of back row. 2 Storming Mirror Force, just to get rid of those pesky monsters that Skull Servant decks have trouble taking care of. 2 Apple of Enlightenment. Now this card, Golden Apples. This card is interesting. When I take battle damage, while I control no monsters at all, I gain life points equal to the battle damage. And then I get a token. And then I get a token that has attack and defense points equal to the amount of LP I gain by the effect. So, there you go. 1 Imperial Order just to shut down spell cards, and 2 Dark Bribe, just for negation purposes. And with that, that is it for my Skull Servant deck profile. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and until next time, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 saying see you later.